Welcome to 30 or Thursday's mindfulness session. My name is Danielle Jones, and I serve as a county lead as a part of the regional TA team up in Region 6. I'm a part of the system of support for expanded learning, just like all of you. We're part of that amazing ecosystem. And I serve just like Lisa and Melissa, right? So I'm here to support all of you today and this morning, but I'm also here because Lisa asked me. So for those of us in the service industry, self-care can be an act of revolution or a revolutionary act, right? That's what I named my session, because I know for myself, who happens to have a love language of service to others. So if I care about you, I'm going to show you through an act of service. And so I want to thank both Lisa and Melissa for allowing me this opportunity to do what I love, right? And when Lisa asked me, I had to say yes, because she's a member of my family and my community. And now that you're at the session, you're all a member of our family and our community. And so just kind of a moment of review and just to think about what we've learned or what we will learn, right? So for those of you who have attended the mindfulness sessions every day, I'm just thinking back what I learned. So on Monday, we started out with Julie and Diego, and we had an opportunity to hear about the what, the why, and the how of mindfulness, right? They gave us an opportunity to hear the science behind mindfulness, like why is it important? They also gave us a couple opportunities to practice it. But I remember on Tuesday with Sheila, she really focused in on the importance of the mind, the body, and the heart connection. And that all of them are connected, and that if we don't take care of one, then, something may go awry. So she did some yoga with us. So she focused in on our physical well-being. And guess what? You can do yoga in a chair. So that's pretty cool. So that means I can do it at work very easily. On Wednesday, which was yesterday, we had the opportunity to do mindfulness with Malia. And what Malia shared with us, it's very, very important that we give grace, empathy, and compassion, not only for others, but for ourselves. Today, we're going to spend a little bit of time about honoring. So if we talked about grace, hope, empathy, and compassion, we can't leave out love. So today we're going to talk about love. So before I move on, I want everybody to take a moment to thank themselves, to sit in gratitude, to say, I'm putting myself on the top of my to-do list, right? I'm committing to self-care as a practice. Whether you attended just today or you attended all 4 sessions, you are putting yourself at the top of your to-do list. So in the next 10 minutes-ish, okay, we're going to move on. We're going to spend some time practicing, right? Because in my opinion, practice, I would say, I'm going to not say the term practice makes perfect. What I'm going to say is practice allows us to fail forward. So if we've committed to mindfulness as a self-care practice, right? And it's on our to-do list to do every day. Guess what? Some days you probably will forget to do it. But again, self-care can be as simple as just taking a moment to breathe, right? We all do that. You kind of have to live. So remember, it can be as simple as that, but it can also be a mindfulness moment like you have today, okay? And so we're going to spend a little bit of time in a guided presentation or a guided mindfulness activity, about 3 minutes. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to journal or draw. So we're going to use a couple different mediums, whatever you want to do. And then we're going to close. So because we only have 15 minutes. All right. And this slide is just a little reminder about mindfulness, what it looks like. But at its most basic, it's a time to become aware, to become present in the moment, and to ground ourselves so that we can kind of pay attention to me. So the next 5 minutes is going to be all about you and taking care of you. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is to get comfortable, right? So you're going to sit in your chair, you're going to get comfortable. You can leave your camera on or you can turn it off, whatever you feel so today, right? Like, I'm going to leave my camera on or I'm going to turn my camera off. Whatever you do, whatever makes you feel comfortable and in a space to listen. And as I said, we can, but with grace, compassion, and empathy, we also have to talk about love. So I invite you to get into a space that you're completely open and ready to hear the message of this mindfulness moment.
Breathe in slowly and slowly out. In this moment, know that you are fully supported. Where you are at, love made sure it was there. Love brought with it resources that you need in this moment. Kind words, soothing, gentle ideas. The love that you hear is reaching in and connecting with the love that is abundantly within you. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. Your strength is not overlooked. Your courage is admired. Allow these words in and any doubt out. Love made sure these words reached you. Let them in. And now that love is by your side, always know it can never leave you. Love is your companion along this journey. It is the impulse that triggers that light, that leap, that yes, I'll do it. It is the connection of love. Know that in this moment that you are important and valued. Who you are is respected and admired. Allow these words in and any doubt out. Thank you for coming, for sharing your love, for giving love. We value you, admire you, and you are worthy of more than you can ever imagine. These are the words of love to you today. Peace.
All right. So take a few deep breaths to come back from the guided mindfulness, all about love. Maybe roll your shoulders, wiggle your fingers and your toes, and come back to the session. All right. So now I need to turn my camera on. We're going to spend a few moments journaling. And in a second, I'm going to go ahead and put up the prompt for you. Yesterday, Malia had us journal on what's moving in you. Like through the guided meditation, what just came up for you? If you have a pen, pencil, and a piece of paper, great. If you don't, you can spend the time kind of reflecting, just thinking about what came up for you, right? The other thing I'd like you to consider for the next couple minutes, I'm going to play some music while we're journaling, is an activity that I did on a session in the in the, I don't know what day it was, but I attended a session where the presenter had us draw a picture of our hands. And within the hands, on the fingers, we wrote goals, right? Things that we wanted to make sure that we're doing. And it's a way to reflect. And I find when I write it down, it holds me more accountable. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Okay. And so what I'd like you to do for the next couple minutes, let's say 2 minutes, is either take a moment to journal what showed up during this guided mindful moment, or you can draw your hand and write on each finger a lesson that you're going to take away from this week or this session, or something that just happened to you right before you popped on the call. This is your opportunity to reflect and to think about takeaways. What do you want to take away from this experience? So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do that. So grab a notebook, a piece of paper, pen, and enjoy a moment just to think about what you learned. I'm going to have you finish up your final thoughts. And remember, this is something that you can use throughout the day. So regardless of whether you decided to journal on what's coming up for you, or you decided to draw and use that mode of reflection, and you have some takeaways from your week or from this session on your hands. No matter what you decided to do, or maybe you decided to do a combination of the two. We're just gonna like 30 more seconds. And then come back to our session. So first and foremost, again, I want to thank all of you for being here to help me put myself on the top of my to-do list, right? It's not selfish because it's really hard to pour out of an empty cup. So for us who love to serve, and I know everybody on this call does, take care of yourself because you're very important. So in the last just couple minutes, I'd like to share some resources. All righty, let's go forward. There we go. All right. So in the chat box, Sheila, thank you, Sheila, for being my second, and Allison, and of course, Lisa, Melissa, and I think Suzanne's on the call too. And obviously, thank you, all of you. So Sheila put in the chat box the link to this particular PowerPoint. I'm all about sharing. You can call it lovingly lifting or AKA stealing. So if you would like to use anything that one of the guided meditation, this whole session, you want to use the PowerPoint, feel free to do so. I have it in a PDF. If you'd like to customize it to yourself, just send me an email. Some self-care picks. So some of you put in the chat box the things that you do to focus on your self-care. So you'll notice on the on this particular slide deck, I have a link to the actual meditation. So maybe you want to do that again throughout the day. Maybe you want to do it on the weekend. Maybe you want to do it next week. You now have access to it. Also, Google is a wonderful friend. For those of you who were on the keynote yesterday, who got to see that lovely Dr. Danielle, which I love her name, she talked about what's a resource for you. The internet, Google, social media. I also receive daily an email affirmation from Project Happiness. So there's an email every morning in my inbox that I get to read. And it just, it's not only helps my brain, but it feeds my soul and fills my heart. And then another resource for you is the Greater Good Science Center. Everything mindfulness, everything, they're just an amazing resource, but note, Dr. Danielle said you can go through a wormhole, definitely can go through a wormhole with this one. So a lot time. The last thing I want to share with you is my name and my contact information. Again, I said my name is Danielle, and here is my email. And Sheila, if you wouldn't mind putting my phone number in the chat box, then you can go ahead and put my cell. I would love to hear from any of you. If you just need somebody to listen, if I was in person, I could give you a hug. I've been told I'm a really good hugger, but I'm always here to listen. And to end our session, those who know and love me know that I love quotes. And so to end our session and to send you on your way, I'm going to share a quote from a very famous mystic named Winnie the Pooh. Winnie tells us, and this is a message I'd like you to take throughout the day, is you are braver than you believe, stronger than you see, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. So thank you for attending this mindfulness moment. It was my pleasure to be here with you and honor, and have a wonderful day.